Welcome to my spiritual family, that we're all perfect spirit. So let's just take a moment here to just settle in to realize that we're sitting, our feet are on the floor, we're breathing, we're just really coming into this moment and just relaxing into this moment. So before we begin the talk today, let's hold space, send love to Ukraine, the people of Russia, and other places where there's conflict in the world. And I was just looking at my phone earlier today, and there is a lot of conflict. So let's hold space for them as well. Syria, Libya, Yemen, South Sudan, Ethiopia. There's a lot of places that are suffering. So let's just take a moment there to hold space for them, to wrap them into love. I just wish everyone well because we all want that peace, that happiness, to enjoy life to the best of our abilities. All right, so today I want to talk about, the reflections on war, the conflict in Ukraine right now. It was coming to mind, but also can be addressed to these other countries where there's also conflict. And I'm sure there's people in Russia that don't want war either. And there's probably soldiers that are fighting from Russia that don't want to be there. There's probably something from their home that they would rather attend to. So we have to see that, we're being forced in a way to conflict because we have these, I guess you could say, attack thoughts that it has to be this way, that we have this belief system, these opinions, that life can only be a certain way. And we create these wars to make our way, become true. But we really attach to these thoughts, believing that they are the truth. But we just need to let that go and say, my thoughts are not the truth. This war will accomplish nothing. Because we don't really need all this division, all this separation. If there was kindness, respect, peace toward one another, to see that we are one spiritual family. We are all perfect spirit, and we all want to live a peaceful, happy life. So when we see war, it's actually war against ourselves. Because if we are this one spiritual family, then we're basically attacking each other. And this is not what we came here to be. We came here to be to learn, to grow, to expand consciousness. But yet we have to see there's no mistakes. That these wars, these conflicts happen to teach us lessons. And often these lessons don't sink in, if you will, because history constantly repeats itself. But it doesn't need to be that way. We can break this cycle, that we can stop attacking ourselves. And it begins by, the language that we use toward ourselves. We're usually saying we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we're not deserving, you're a moron, you're an idiot, why'd you do it this way? We just need to let all that go and realize this noise pollution, it's that mental garbage, that mental trash that we just need to throw out. So we just send lots of love to everyone that's going through conflict, everyone that is suffering, that's discontent with life, that something appears to be going wrong or incorrect. And we demand that our way be a certain way, but it's all nonsense, it's all garbage, that we just need to relax and see wherever you look, there's perfect spirit. There's no place where perfect spirit is not. So we're simply having this war amongst ourselves that we bring into the world. So for these families that are going through this, it's very difficult. So yes, on the absolute level, we are spirit, but we do live in the relative world. And what that basically means is We have a body. We have objects. We have this house, this floor, whatever it may be. This is the relative world that we live in. And it's usually a place of separation. It's us versus them, that we don't have the ability to step back. But just take a moment here and just to look around, to realize this body I'm in right now, this room, everything's going to be different 100 years from now. This body won't be here. This room may look completely different, may not even be here, because that's the impermanence of life. But we are life itself, that energy that continues and continues and continues, regardless of the form. So we just need to relax, to see that all is well. Despite the mind's opinions, all is well. That there's no mistakes, even though the people are going through lots of pain, lots of suffering, on some level that we cannot understand from the logical mind. We simply trust that spirit is learning, growing from this experience, rippling out to everyone, because we're all interconnected. There is no separation. So we just hold this space of peace and love for everyone, to ripple this out, to give the world a giant hug of reassurance that, yeah, we get trapped up in this relative world, the world of form of bodies. But in the absolute, the world of spirit, everything is okay. So just finding the peace here, that's all that's required of us. And to speak up against injustice. That, hey, this isn't right. You're in your attack mode, you're in your attack thoughts, that life has to be a certain way, that your belief systems are a certain way, that everyone needs to conform to your way. That's not the case at all. We simply have to step back and see the larger picture, that this doesn't need to be for all those places that are going through conflict. Because conflict is ultimately a war with ourselves. And this is not needed in the ultimate, but we're so caught up in the relative. So I'm here if there's any questions, anything that's coming to mind, and to realize that there will always be war as long as there is separation, division, taking our thoughts as the truth. Taking our way of being is the truth. Prescribing our way of life as the only way of life. And this does not need to be. So the best way we can help is to remind everyone that you are love itself, peace, that we are one family. And even in the relative world, we have common ancestors. Everyone I see is a cousin, maybe a far removed cousin, maybe like a 50th cousin or 55th cousin, but we're all connected both on the absolute and the relative, because we all have common ancestors. Yeah, so I'm not pulling cards today. That's Monday night. And what I'll be doing Monday is a little bit different. Lori will continue doing what she's doing, but I will be somewhat different. And then Wednesday, I'm doing another healing circle. But here is just to reflect on the war, the insanity of war. Demanding our way is the only way. So it's just a short talk today that we don't really need to, to keep saying the same message over and over again. So let's just wish everyone peace, wish them well, giving the earth a hug of peace, of compassion, and more importantly, understanding the viewpoint of another, but to ultimately see it's just a belief system. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. So just see the beauty that is around you as I send you lots of peace, lots of love. By being fully here in this moment, so that you realize that you're sitting, feet on the floor, listening, being fully here in this moment, and you will know this peace. Because we're always dancing with the divine, because we are the divine. We know our truth, the absolute truth, not the relative truth. Relative is basically anything that's impermanent. Will this be the same in 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, 10,000 years, 100,000 years, a billion years? If the answer is no, then it's a temporary truth. It's not the absolute truth, which is consciousness, source. And we know this fully, and we express this peace to everyone. All right, well, take good care of yourself. Keep realizing that you are perfect spirit. Everyone you see is your family. On the absolute, everyone's perfect spirit. Everyone that you see is a cousin. We all have common ancestors. So try to be gentle, kind, and just notice when the mind goes on attack mode and say, no, that's not necessary. Everyone's doing the best that they can in this moment based on their understanding. And the understanding could be a little mixed because the mind does what the mind does. All right. I think that is enough for today. Take good care of yourself. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.